Modern Warfare 2, like its predecessor, is almost perfect, and unfortunately, it's looking like another COD title that's going to fall short again. Now, with the Modern Warfare 2 beta ending, there's been a lot on the mind of players in the community. Me personally, I'm with the vocal minority here that you might have seen all over Twitter. I believe that the game is almost perfect. The only problem, however, is that the game has the exact same problems as Modern Warfare 19, and even at that, has some new problems. It's honestly come to the point where I think that Infinity Ward is simply incapable of making a classic feeling COD. And it's right there in front of them, they just refuse to do anything. Infinity Ward has this thing with them where it feels like they are better than the community and they know more and just can care less about the community feedback. Comparing Infinity Ward to the other studios like Treyarch and Sledgehammer, you are never going to see anything from community feedback come out of Infinity Ward, whereas the other studios usually take most community feedback and work upon it. It's actually kind of funny since Raven, who is overlooking Warzone 2, has already made changes to that game from feedback from the COD Next event. They are already making changes to improve the game before the public has even gotten to touch the game. Infinity Ward, on the other hand, all they do is tell us to screw off and progressively sound more and more disconnected with the community each respawn they give us for why they kept a horrible game design in. But back to the beta though, the game is fun. Everything is there for a great COD, it's just unfortunately Infinity Ward that's developing this COD. The guns sound and feel great, and overall sounds are spectacular. The kill streaks are fun, and the maps are incredibly well made compared to Modern Warfare 19. Movement is much more enjoyable for me personally, and all the cosmetics in the game so far look crazy cool. But as I said before, this game has the exact same problems as Modern Warfare 2019, just with more. We get to see again that there's no dead silence as a perk, the minimap doesn't work, footsteps are way too loud to do anything around the map, lobbies are still disbanding, there's no map voting, there's squad spawning, SBMM low-key is still ruining the game, and the time to kill is way too high. Now, for the new problems we have with this game, the UI is horrible. I appreciate a new UI after having a copy and paste UI for the last 3 years, but my god, this UI is horrible. Trying to navigate it on a controller was a nightmare, and trying to navigate the UI in general was just horrible. I shouldn't have to look up on Google how to play a specific game mode and how to invite friends and join those friends' lobbies. Infinity Ward actually hired someone that made or worked on the Hulu UI for this game's UI, and let me tell you, they absolutely did hire that man because this is very reminiscent of how horrible Hulu's UI was in like 2017 or even in general. Hulu has always had like the worst UI out of any streaming service. But on top of that as well, Infinity Ward is doing their classic thing of trying to fix something that's not broken and trying to reinvent the wheel at the same time, and they screwed up the perk system. Now, instead of just having your perks that you selected before the game started and just having them, now you go throughout the game unlocking those perks, which in my opinion just slows down the game and is just stupid. So you start off with 2 basic perks, and then after a certain score or time, you get like a mid-level perk, which is like cold-blooded or something, and then after some more score or some more time, you get a I forget what the ultimate perk I think they're called, but like, you know, Ghost, Hardline, Last Stand, all of that. And the problem was, when the beta first came out, they were so incredibly slow to get that it was just not fun, but then they tweaked it to where it was so incredibly fast to get that you might as well just give it to us like a normal perk system. So it's just horrible game design on their part. But also, they refuse to add enemy nameplates, and it is just making the game so much more annoying because it is so much harder to just detect an enemy just by looking, because again, with Modern Warfare games like this, a lot of the characters blend in fairly well. And there's also this problem where your teammates, they have like the blue dot over their head, and sometimes when an enemy is in front of that, you're gonna think your enemy is your teammate, but it's not, and it's just horrible. And instead of actually just adding a nameplate, they said they're gonna work on that, but they aren't gonna add nameplates, which I don't understand why, because it's such an easy fix. You literally said it in your announcement that you made, just add the enemy nameplate, it's not that hard. But for whatever reason, they just refuse to do that. And one of the most annoying changes they made with this beta, or this game you could say, is that they nerfed the dead silence field upgrade from Modern Warfare 2019. They made it now where when you pop Deady, there is this loud ass beep to alert everyone that you just popped Deady. And you're also not faster anymore, and there's no more ghost for popping Deddy. And you also kind of pulsate when Deddy is popped as well. Really, in general, popping Deddy is just trying to let the entire enemy team know that you just popped Dead Silence, and it is just horrible because I have seen so many good S&D plays that could have been happened, but the dude popped Deddy, and the person on the bomb heard him, turned around, and just shot him. Just horrible game design by Infinity Ward again, and arguably the most annoying change they made with this game. But also there's that new Gunsmith 2.0 or whatever they call it that I want to talk about, but I don't know if I like it or not. It's a cool idea on paper, but with how horrible the UI was, it made trying to figure out the new gun stuff and trying out new guns so tediously annoying and unfun that I just didn't bother with the system. So I don't know if that's good or not. They're gonna have to work on the UI, and if they don't, I'm just gonna chalk it up to it's a bad system. Just give me the pick 10 and we'll move on from there. But again, I do want to say I did enjoy my time on this game for the most part. I honestly just wish they would push the game more in line with the traditional COD than this new tactical shooter, boring style of COD. If I wanted to go play a tactical shooter, I would go play a tactical shooter, not Call of Duty. The game is doing this thing again where it feels more in line with a Battlefield than a Call of Duty, and I hate it since I just want to see a COD be incredibly fun again, but Infinity Ward just refuses to do that. Now, if I'm being honest with my overall opinion of this game though, while I do enjoy it for its core mechanics and the fun that can sometimes be had, I would honestly say this game is worse than Modern Warfare 2019. And hear me out, since I know this sounds crazy and I know what it sounds like, but this game has the exact same problems as Modern Warfare 2019 and plus some. And the only reason I believe people like this game more is because the maps are so much better. I mean, let's just be honest, the maps are 20 times better than Modern Warfare 2019's maps, but regardless of the maps, I also think the reason people prefer this game more than Modern Warfare 2019 is because of the sweaty tryhard culture of the COD community. When Modern Warfare 2019 came out and people played it, there was no slide canceling YYing TikTok kids. The game wasn't popular yet since Warzone hadn't come out, so it was just pre-sweaty COD. But now because of the game's players, more people are moving regardless and trying their balls off, which by default makes the game more fun than the camping fest of Modern Warfare 2019. Hopefully though that made sense, but I truly do think this game is almost perfect, and Infinity Ward just needs to listen to the community feedback for once and try it. I don't know why they don't use the beta for this, since the beta is literally for throwing pasta at the wall and seeing what sticks, but COD just don't work that way anymore. If I could make any one change though, it would be the footsteps. They have to be changed, and if they're not, the game is going to last long, at least what I think. But overall, I do think the way that the game was during the beta would be absolutely phenomenal for that DMZ Tarkov mode that they have, but for a classic 6v6 multiplayer COD, it was just horrible. Now, will I still buy the game and play it and complain about it? Yes, but that's what COD YouTubers do. But jokes aside, if they just do some bare minimum changes, I would honestly be making much more positive videos on the game, since my expectations from modern CODs are so low that anything of good change is mind-blowing to me. Let me know though what you thought of this beta, and if you'll be picking up the game or not in the comments below, and tell me if you enjoyed it or not. If you did enjoy the video though, make sure not to leave without leaving a like and subscribing for more, but until the next time, see ya.